You're listening to Planet Vero Radio. We are broadcast on iHeartMedia. We are also podcast on Spotify called Patient Partners. This is the Patient Partners Show. I am Cindy Schwartz. I have Jeannie Roller, who is my co-host. She is on Skype with me in Indiana. And I also have the guest today, Mary. She is a phone call away in Alabama. And we're going to go right to Mary's story because we did feature her on another show. And it was about how she was told certain information about wearing underwear, not wearing underwear for a procedure that was on her foot, if I remember right, Mary.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and the hospital called and told you that, no, you could not wear any underwear. You basically would be naked underneath the gown, and you called your doctor at that point, and she said, absolutely not. It was a female doctor. That's not true. You can wear your underwear, and you get there the day of surgery, and you're basically stripped naked, and this is for foot surgery.
That is correct.
Okay, so bring us up to speed because you have some excellent news that the listeners need to hear about how you took it upon yourself to do a lot of legwork, no pun intended, and you got the result that you feel that you needed to get.
Well, I got the results because I went to a different doctor and a different facility.
Okay.
I went to a different doctor for a second surgery that I had on my foot because the first one was botched. So I went to a different doctor who was recommended to me by one of the top doctors in Birmingham, Alabama, and I asked his office when I was going to have the surgery if I would be allowed to wear my undergarments, and she said, "Let me check with the doctor." She came back and told me, yes, I would be able to wear undergarments. I actually called the facility where the procedure was going to be done to also verify this, and they told me absolutely I could wear my undergarments. So what you have to do, or what I would advise people to do when I was going to have a procedure that is not like female surgery or whatever, where it just involves a foot or a hand or whatever, that I would call and verify with the doctor's office and with the facility that, yes, you can wear undergarments.
And that's good advice, I think, really, though, Mary, across the board, because even if it's not an intimate procedure, surgery, whatever, you kind of want to know what's going to go on just for your own peace of mind, and you bring good kudos that it actually worked.
Absolutely. It worked.
Okay. Jeannie Roller, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, it works, but you can't always trust them because I've had people tell me that they have made certain conditions, part of the surgery plan, and then only to find out afterwards they were violated.
Okay, so you're saying that they had it in writing or they had it verbally that this was going to happen, and then in the end it didn't?
Right.
Okay.
I didn't have anything in writing.
Okay.
They just assured me that I could wear my undergarments. Now, granted, I was put to sleep, so I don't know if they took them off or not. I'm assuming they did not, since they assured me that I could wear them. And
you had them on when you woke up?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So it brings to light, again, the informed consent and the additional education that the patients are or aren't getting, because we don't know the questions to ask. Now, Mary, you knew because you had been through this scenario. So it's kind of a sad thing in one way because, like you say, Jeannie Roller, even if you do know the questions to ask, are you going to get the lip service answer just to keep you there for the surgery, because we've had people talk about that, or are you going to get the truth like, Mary, you just had from your hospital in Birmingham, Alabama?
I mean, I'm assuming that, that when they assured me I could wear undergarments, that they did not remove my undergarments.
Okay, so you're trusting. That's what we all do when we first went into these scenarios, because what else are we going to do? These are doctors, they're medical people, it's their job. We trust. And then we're all talking for the last however many years that that's not what happened to us. So how do we know? That's the quagmire for the patients. How do we know who's who?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any way, unless it was videotaped and I saw the videotape, of verifying that they didn't remove my undergarments. I'm just, assuming that they did not. And the nurses there were very nice, and she said, and they all informed me, and they were very sweet girls, that they never removed undergarments for for this kind of procedure.
So, Mary, in your case, I mean, I have no doubt from what you're telling me, because your whole outlook is so much better because this did work out for you. Jeannie Roller, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Well, always get it in writing, though.
Yeah.
Even in writing, though, it's not always kept, but you should always have it done in writing as part of your consent form. Put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I should have done that. I'm kind of a trusting person,
mm-hmm.
and I just trusted what they told me. If they did remove them, then I guess I could go back. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have any option at that point.
Yeah, I wouldn't even open that keg of worms, because I think, Mary, you got the right scoop. I mean, you had a good feeling about the people that you talk with. I mean, I don't want to call people out as liars or whatever. Your original scenario was that hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, did tell you that you had to take all of your underwear off for foot surgery, and it was your doctor that said, no, that wasn't true, and it was a whole kerfuffle there, he said, she said kind of thing.
Right. I mean, it was a completely different scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm just assuming, and the girls were shocked at this surgical center that I went to, the second one, that the hospital made me remove my undergarments. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah. And so, Jeannie Roller, your thoughts on that? Because I know you have a lot of history of getting information and research about things like that.
Well, as we've discussed before, it's not necessary for patients to be naked.
Mm-hmm.
On most surgeries, it is not. Some surgeries, yes, like open heart surgery or abdominal surgery, yes, they have to prep the area well. But most surgeries, no, they do not. That they prefer you to be naked because it makes their job easier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why most patients end up naked.
And it's faster for them.
Yeah.
It's way faster.
Yeah.
So, Mary, how do you feel now? I mean, I want to applaud you because I give you so much credit to stick up for yourself. You had the answer. I mean, you had the questions now to ask. You had the answers that you wanted to hear. And would you have gone somewhere else? I already know what the answer is, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Would you have gone somewhere else? You know, what they said?
Well, the thing was, when I went to the second doctor, he told me that they were going to be doing it at the same hospital. And I said, I will never go back to that hospital again.
Okay.
And that's when he said he could do it at an outpatient surgical center that was not involved with that hospital.
Okay. And did you tell him why you weren't going to go back to that hospital?
Oh, yeah, they knew.
Okay. So he knew. So he was willing to work along with you. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that's kind of the thing. I mean, we do talk about that, Jeannie Roller. There are, good doctors. I mean, I've found them, and I've also found ones that aren't really patient forward, for lack of a better word. And how does the patient know? That's the quandary.
I mean, I feel like they understood, and, understood what my concerns were.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't understand is why some facilities don't make you remove your undergarments and other ones do. What's the difference in these facilities?
Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to figure out. I mean, that's the research that we're doing, the people that we have talking on here. And you're in Alabama, Mary. Jeannie Roller is in Indiana. Mine was in Florida. We have other people that talk on from Iowa. I've had people from Nebraska, Nevada, California. I mean, it's all over. It's not just in one specific place. So we can't figure it out either. But I want to say a huge kudos. We only have about half a minute left to Misty Roberts, who is on Facebook at Medical Patient Modesty. She is also on patientmodesty.org. Jeannie Roller, you are on Twitter at Rights for Patients, and that's how we kind of all got together. That's how we found you, Mary. You came to talk with us through...
Yeah, Misty found me.
Yeah.
She found me through an online patient advocacy group.
Okay. So that's what we're all out here for, for the listeners too. I mean, do your homework, do your research, educate yourself, and ask the questions. I mean, you have every right to do that. You've been listening to Planet Vero Radio. Please stay tuned.